Good morning, beautiful people. Coming at you straight from beautiful Pai, Thailand. I want to have a conversation in regards to intermittent dry fasting yet again. I made a video yesterday, you might have seen it, and I was just talking about the benefits of intermittent dry fasting. And I ended up doing 21 hours yesterday. And it was difficult because I talked in the video how the day before I treated myself for some delicious spicy and salty treats. I had this big plate of it's called Massman rice. It's got these lovely spices and salt and vegetables, and then I had a bunch of salty banana chips, very salty. And although I drank tons of water after, it didn't matter. I was still thirsty. I woke up the next day thirsty, and I ended up, obviously, because it's a habit, ended up carrying an intermittent dry fasting longer than usual. I usually do between 16 and 18, but I ended up doing 21 because Father, forgive me for I have sinned, right? So I wanted to make up for it. So, of course, these experiences are great, and I enjoyed myself, enjoyed the meal. It was very delicious. I would do it again if I went back in time, and you learn. So, of course, yesterday I was a lot more mindful of my food choices. So I'll tell you what I ate. I ate a bunch of papayas. I had like a 3 hour eating and drinking window yesterday. So I started it off with a bunch of papayas, 88 to 90% water, basically. Okay, I mean, it's basically all water, essentially. The only fruit that I know of that has more water than papayas is watermelon. And I ate some bananas. Bananas are have much less water in them compared to papayas, so it's about 73% water, and that's why it's sweeter. It's sweeter. So dates are very sweet because there's maybe 20-30% moisture in them. So because the reason bananas are sweet is because there's less water in them, so the sugar is more pronounced in it. So ate some bananas, not much though, not much. And I finished off. First of all, I started off, the first thing I consumed was 2 liters of lime water. Okay? That's the beautiful thing, and I talked about it. That's a beautiful thing about intermittent dry fasting. It makes you appreciate water. It makes you go for water first thing, hydration. It makes you really appreciative of hydration. And right after, I ended up the evening with a nice bowl of tom yum soup. This lady makes this mean tom yum soup, but it's got no salt, no spices in it. It's got vegetables. It's just vegetables, and it's water also. It's water with some vegetables in it, mushrooms, tomatoes, and pumpkins, and what else she puts in? Cilantro, and she puts in cilantro in it, and a couple of other things, ginger, and she puts some other things. They're not spices, they're herbs that give it the taste. Really mean stuff. And it's also mostly water. Okay, it's water. First of all, it's soup. There's no salt in it, no spices. Usually the lady puts it, but I tell her, she knows now. She knows the usual. So it's pretty much all water. Tomatoes are like 80 something percent water. Mushrooms, same thing. So it's all water. So I finished off with a bowl of soup and then another liter of lime water. So very hydrating window of consumption, about maybe it stretched to 4 hours, something like that, between 3 and 4 hours consumption window. In fact, so much hydration that my stomach didn't feel so good. It's too much water, too much hydration actually. So I learned today will be less, and I'm on about 15th hour into the intermittent dry fast today, and I feel fantastic. I do not feel thirsty. I feel amazing. I feel incredible. I do not at the current moment feel the urge or the need to drink. By contrast with yesterday, pretty much as soon as I woke up, and I was already maybe into the 13th or 14th hour by the time I woke up, I was already instantly like, fuck, this is gonna be tough. Because although I drank so much water after that dehydrating meal, doesn't matter. That food creates mucus, and that's why the mucus makes you feel thirsty. Whereas yesterday, pretty much I, for the most part, consumed a diet high in water. The least water-rich thing that I consumed was bananas, which is 73% water, and it was limited quantity. Okay. I feel fantastic today. Papayas and bananas, fruits, they're not mucus forming. The soup, it was again mostly water, right? It was mostly, even the vegetables in it was mostly water. I feel fantastic today. You get to do these experiments and you get to see. So today, I'm going to do my usual. I usually do 18 hours. I'm gonna do my usual 18 hours today. But I know when I do drink water, when it's the 18-hour mark, because there's only 3 hours left, I'm not going to be thirsty all that much. Definitely not like yesterday. Okay, yesterday was just, as soon as I woke up from the 13th, 14th hour all the way to the 21st was a struggle, actually. I had to keep myself busy making videos and just busy because, otherwise I would be fixated on the thirst. Today I'm not fixated on the thirst because it's there, but in a subtle way. It's not there. It's not like persistent and consistent like yesterday. So this is again why I emphasize on intermittent dry fasting and why I say it's a food craving crusher, and it sets you on the narrow path, because then you realize whatever I'm going to consume to make this process smooth and easy and have less mucus, less need for water, which means more energy, right? Which means more harmony, more balance, more equilibrium, more peace in your body, to make this process fun, which it is fun, believe me. Once you feel like, man, I can go most of the day not needing anything. I mean, it's very empowering, and the energy you feel is really, it's addicting, actually. It's quite addicting. I can't go back to not doing intermittent dry fasting. I just can't. It's addicting, the energy that you unlock as a result of this emptiness, of this state of equilibrium the body reaches on its own. So you learn, like I learned now, okay, all right, wiser food choices for sure. You see the difference right away the next day. Like, man, you wake up not as thirsty. Hey, I got more energy. My throat isn't all scratchy, and I'm not like thinking about water, and I want, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful to go through the process, to enjoy yourself. I really enjoyed those meals. But now, next time, I'm tempted. Temptations are always there. The next time I'm tempted to go and have that delicious Massman rice with the vegetables in it and some salty, delicious banana chips, I'm gonna be like, Remember when you woke up so thirsty? Remember when you did a 21-hour dry fast and it was so tough? Remember? Oh, I remember. And then that remembering will get me to question and get me to really like, okay, Saeed, is it really worth it? Because you gonna do the intermittent dry fasting tomorrow. You're gonna go the usual. It's a habit now. You're not gonna wake up and give yourself a break and be like, okay, no. Today I'm gonna drink water because I'm thirsty because I ate like shit yesterday. No. So Saeed, is this worth it? And so that, temptations will always be there. Those salty banana chips are always there. That delicious Massman rice with the vegetables in it. It's actually it's in the same restaurant that I go to that the lady makes the mean tom yum soup. So it's there, temptation is always gonna, call me, but I'm gonna be like, remember? Oh, I remember. And yeah. So, and then let's say I do it again, let's say I'm like, okay, no. Today, instead of, I'm gonna be like, today, I could almost see the future. I can almost see me like next week, maybe on the weekend, on Sunday or something. I can almost be like, okay, Saeed, last time you ate Massman rice and salty banana chips. How about today we just do one of them? So you'll be less thirsty tomorrow. Okay, so at least the next time that negotiation happens, at least I'm not doing two things that are dehydrating, at least one. And I'll still experience the consequences the next day. At which point I'll be like, okay, Saeed, no more of this, you know. And then, you know, so you see the process, you see how it works. You work with it day by day, you work with it week by week. And it's a beautiful process. And you enjoy yourself along the way. And you learn what is most optimal food. Anything that dehydrates you is not optimal, period. If you feel thirsty after food, it's not a good sign, right? I ate those papayas yesterday, and I did not want anything to do with water after, because in fact, there's so much water in it, and I had quite a bit of papayas. And there's so much water in it that I was feeling stuffed from all this water. You know when you drink too much water and you feel stuffed, I was like stuffed from like just a lot of water, right? You learn what is optimal food based on experiment and tracking down your thirst levels, etc., etc. And then so you implement these changes, which is again why I say intermittent dry fasting will set you on the narrow path to optimal health, because it's just like if it's like hydration becomes your main target when you eat. Hydration becomes everything to you, because hydration is everything. Actually, it is everything. Actually, it's hydration. Breatharianism is about, one of the key aspects to it is staying hydrated. Just being in most of your hunger doesn't even actually set in until much later. This is not hunger. Like nobody's eating out of hunger. Okay, nobody's eating out of hunger, folks. We're all eating out of entertainment or boredom or emotional suppression. Boredom, a lot of times, is boredom, filling up the time. Right? It's mostly thirst and hydration. If you're fully hydrated, then you're a car running on solar, the sun, and water. Hydration, any form of hydration. So yeah, it sets you. Intermittent dry fasting is powerful because it sets you on the narrow path. It just it limits your food choices. It limits your food cravings. And the next time you think about, having something that doesn't really belong in your body, or is going to cause dehydration and thirst and mucus, you think long and hard about it, okay? You think deeply about it. Like, do I really want to be thirsty tomorrow morning? Do I really want to be thirsty? And trust me, no matter how much water you drink after these dehydrating foods, they cause mucus, they cause inflammation, they cause distress to the body. You will be thirsty the next day. I think I after having that dehydrating meal, I drank 2 liters of water after it. 2 liters. Like, I stuffed myself with water. It still was thirsty, Woke up the next day, I was thirsty. Had a challenging dry fasting period yesterday. Really did. Enjoyed it though. I was like laughing the whole way, because I was like, you see? Right? You learn. So that's one hack to having a successful lifestyle based on intermittent dry fasting. And again, I cannot emphasize the benefits that come from that. So just watched my most recent video yesterday about this. All right, that's hack number 1. Hack number 2: stop consuming everything between 5 to 6 hours before bed. And this is strategic. Why is that? So you drink as much water, you eat the foods that you're eating, right? Say you sleep around 12 a.m. Let's say that's around the time you sleep, roughly. Stop consuming no later than 7 p.m. Why is this strategic? I'll tell you why. Because between 7 p.m. and 12 a.m. until you sleep, let's say, you have these 5 hours now. You're not really thirsty or hungry. You're full. Let's say you're full. Okay? 5 hours plus, you give your body enough time to do some processing so you can go to sleep and not feel stuffed. 5 hours. Now, between 12 a.m., let's say you sleep 8 hours, let's say. So 12 a.m. until 8 a.m., let's say, okay? So that's 8 plus 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You're already waking up in a 13-hour dry fasted state. Not only going to wake up actually more energetic, and because, you're already in a fasted state, a true fasted state, no water, no drinking. But if you're aiming to do 18 hours on a regular daily basis, You wake up already 13 hours in. So you wake up and you're like, I guess I just got 5 more hours to go. All right, there's no problem. So it's strategic, you see. Placing it like that is strategic. Whereas if you stop consumption, say, 2 hours before, when you go to bed and you sleep 8 hours, you wake up and you're in 10 hours. Psychologically, I'm talking from psychological point of view, you're like, man, I got 8 more hours now. I can't drink. I can't eat. You see, it's a drag. It's a bit of a drag because it's all mental anyway. It's all psychological anyway. The whole game is psychological. It's all mental. So you see that strategically, psychologically, we're playing. Because once you're already deep in it, past the 12-hour mark, trust me, you're like, yeah, it's easy, man. 5 more hours. All right, let me get on my day. Let me do this. Let me do that. Before you know it, it's noon. I usually break it around noon. I try to stop by 6 p.m., no later than 7 p.m., and I break it around noon. Look at the sun when it's up there, 12, 1 p.m., something like that. It's about 18 hours, 17, 18. You know, I'm not like a timing Nazi per se here. Okay, usually, you know, just noon. I look at the sun. And yeah, so psychologically, we're playing the psychological game here, folks. You see? So psychologically, there's another powerful, and then the nice thing is if you break it early, so 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 5, 6 hours before, you're not thirsty or hungry for those times because you filled yourself up. You know, you hydrated yourself, so you're not thirsty. You're not going to bed thirsty at all. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not a struggle. Versus stopping 2 hours before and then going through the sleep and then waking up, you may be thirsty when you wake up, but you're like, fuck, I have only 10 hours. Man, I got 8 more hours to go. Psychologically, it drains you. You see? Versus you stop early and then you wake up, you're already in a 13-hour, 14-hour dry fasted window. Great. 4 or 5 more hours, no problem. And then the third hack is when you wake up, you want to have a powerful, something powerful you do that gets you just off of everything and into the light, into the Godhead and blah, blah, blah. Okay? So my way is I wake up, I just chill in my bed, I lay there, maybe I usually start off the day with laughter, just maybe watch a clip of South Park or something, you know, and then I get up and I come here, my hut is right there, I come here, I lay down, I sit, depending on how I feel, and I hum under the sun, okay, under the sun, for 40 minutes to an hour. I set a timer and today I set it for an hour. I didn't finish the hour because I felt so energetic and I wanted to make these videos, okay, and I didn't want to resist the flow of the Tao. And then you forget, you see now that actually the funny thing, the alarm just went off, so let's dismiss it. Okay, so synchronicities, yes, as soon as I mentioned the alarm, boom, it went off. Crazy. So that's when you know I'm in flow, because you know these things you don't know consciously, but they happen unconsciously. So you want to get yourself in a state of flow. Do something, an hour ritual in the morning that really gets your mind off of the material and the lower density matters such as eating and drinking into higher matters, higher your higher mind. So I meditate, I hum under the sun. This is like the first thing I do in the morning after I get some laughter in, and yeah, and then that's it, baby. Then I'm doing something I enjoy now. I'm making videos, and I'll go for a walk after, and before you know it, it's noon. If I had to guess now, it's 11 a.m. or something. I got another hour or two to go at this point. You see? Very easy. Very, very easy. Because I already woke up. I was already like, what, deep into it? 14 hours or something? No, 15? I think now I'm 15 in, 16. Something like that. I'm not, I don't per se, you know, time it. I try not to even look at the clock. I mostly base time on the sun, the cycles of the sun, the movement of the sun. But, you know, I got maybe another couple of hours, let's say. Easy. Very easy now, because I not only did I wake up already in a deep fasted state, dry fasted state, but I did my ritual in the morning, which got me into my higher mind, got me into my mission, got me into my inner self, the peace, the harmony, the flow with the Tao. And now I just want to make videos. I don't want to drink. I'm not, my mind isn't even there. You see? And I'm not really, again, I'm not really thirsty today because of what I mentioned about, you know, how I ate yesterday and everything. So that's hack number two, or hack number three, sorry. So just to go over this quickly, the moral of the story, to make intermittent dry fasting easier, you eat foods that are high in water content, and you stop consuming 5 to 6 hours before you go to bed for psychological reasons that we discussed, and for actually practical reasons, because you don't want to go to bed stuffed. You don't want to go to bed stuffed with anything, with liquids or water, or solid foods. And start off your day with something that gets you into your higher mind, your higher self, your higher calling. A meditation on anything. I meditate on the sun and the hum. Gets me in flow. 60% of the time, it works every time. And here I am in the flow. I've got 2 more hours to go. I'm gonna get a workout today on a dry fasted state, for sure. Like I did the same thing yesterday, and I was thirsty. Today I'm not thirsty, so I'm gonna get some push-ups, some pull-ups, some movement, and handstands and cartwheels, etc. A little bit of dancing under the sun, all under the sun, mind you. See, the sun doesn't really make me thirsty anymore because my body's just so adjusted to being under the sun now. So in the beginning, the sun will make you thirsty until you adapt to it. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful process, ladies and gents. The deeper you get into it, the more you believe that the body can do everything on its own. The more you realize, you know, I got another video I'll make on exactly why we get thirsty. But basically, it's down to mucus and toxins which need to be detoxified. So when you eat foods that are salty, salt is essentially spices and stuff like that. Essentially, it's a toxin basically. So that's why you get thirsty. Body wants to just get it out of get it out. Anytime you're thirsty, your body wants to get something out of the system. Now you eat a lot of dehydrating and mucus forming foods. Okay, the other reason you're thirsty is you need to digest food. If you're eating foods that are dehydrated, you need water to digest them. But if you eat foods that are high in water, you digest them right away. And then mucus, so toxins, which cause mucus, which tells your body, let's get in some water so we can get these toxins out ASAP. So you realize the more deeper you get into the process, the more you begin to do it optimally. Like, man, like, wow, I'm a perfect being. I actually need very little. If anything at all. The more you clean up the body, the more you get in touch with prana, and if you also live in a place where you got humid air near the beach, near the water or something, it's a different ball game. You know, you realize it for yourself experientially. So obviously this is a process I'm very, very, very joyful to be participating in. Very grateful that I am well on the narrow path. It is quite a narrow path actually. And I will continue to share with you guys. God bless you. I love you. And if you would like to support on Patreon, we got 29 people now. You know, so another family member joins yesterday. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's just a couple of bucks a month, and it adds up in the long period. You know, for the community, for the sake of the community. I mentioned the community house thing. Obviously, the more resources we have, the more things we can do together. And I love you guys. And Instagram, Saeed Mobayed, hit me up there for video requests or anything like that. And until next time, may the force be with you.